Okay, welcome everybody to webinar 5. And our topic tonight is humor. So I'm going to hand straight over to Liz.
Thank you. Yeah, just to say welcome from a cold and rainy Cambridge. The weather's taken a turn for the worse, but let's hope I can cheer everybody up by showing you some of the things that make we Brits laugh. We started with some one-liners from the Edinburgh Fringe, and let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so just read about what you'll be doing by the end of this session. We'll be looking at our culture again with a small c, our sense of humour. There's a lexical element in here as well, some things you will know, hopefully one or two things will be new. And I'm hoping to inspire you as well with ideas for material that you could use. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so yeah, one of the questions in the self-study work that I've prepared for you is humour universal? I think that we Brits are pretty good at laughing at ourselves. We especially enjoy laughing at other people who think they're better than us, either socially or in any way. But I think increasingly we are more mindful of our humour, and we are increasingly avoiding jokes that we feel might wound about ethnicity, sexual orientation, disability. Let's see what I've got for you tonight. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, we're actually going to begin with a speaking activity.
Right. I
So we
set
can
this up a
talk.
little bit on Facebook for you already. So I already asked you to think about dice. And I wonder how many of you use dice type games with your students already. It's something that I do quite regularly, and I've got quite a big collection of them. I don't always have dice. I mean, I've got big ones, little silicone ones that you can throw around that don't make a lot of noise, because I find giving students a small hard dice is just an invitation for them to chuck them and throw them across the room. So I tend not to give those out to students very often. And the little tiny dice that you use for backgammon, they just get lost and people step on them. So we either have a kind of rubber silicone kind of dice, or I invent them. I pretend, I've got one in my hand and I roll it and I say, 3, and I just pretend. That also works. But if we're online, we have also got the option of using Google Dice, which was quite simple. Just put Google Dice into Google and you get something. So I will leave it up to your imagination when you go into breakout rooms, how you want to do this. If you want to pretend and roll, or you want to actually try, doing it online, that's perfectly okay by me. I don't mind. Okay, can we move on? Right, we're going to try something a little different. I wanted to try something different. I've already learned a couple of things about Zoom tonight, and I'm going to try hopefully learn some more. We're going to try a speed dating competition, not competition, activity now in the breakout rooms. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to put you into breakout rooms, hopefully with 3 people. You may end up in a room with 4 people. We will see. And when you're there, I want you to decide who's going to roll the dice. One person will roll. You get a number, and then you can nominate someone else in your breakout room to answer the question. So if I roll the dice and I get 3, and I choose somebody, and I decide I'm going to have, Nina is going to answer 3. Nina can choose which one she wants to answer. The one in the first column or the one in the second column. So there is an element of choice, because maybe one of the questions doesn't make any sense to you and you have nothing to say about it. So that's okay. All right. And then you get a chance to answer your question, and then everyone else can chip in and they can also say something about that question. Okay. So you want to talk about this maybe for a minute or 2. And if you have time, you can roll the dice again. Now the speed dating thing comes in this way. After about 3.5 to 4 minutes, one of you is going to basically disappear, and I'm going to be putting you into another room. And someone else is going to come from a room into your room. Okay? I will send a little message. Sorry? I will send a little message to say, someone is going, you're moving in a minute. Okay, so you'll know that you're going to have to move. Someone will be moved. And we'll do, then when you get into a new group, I want you to repeat the activity. You can roll the dice again. All right. I should warn you that because I have to move everybody individually, there may be one person who is alone in a room for just a minute at most while I'm just arranging everything. Don't worry. I know that you're there and I will move you into a room. All right. So it's going to be a little bit random and we'll see how that works. Yeah. Any questions? Can we see the next slide? That has the instructions on it too.
And Christina, just to let you know that Alexandra and Yusuf say they've got really bad connections and they may have to leave.
Okay, I'm really sorry about that. We are recording and I hope that you will be able to access the recording. I'm so sorry, Yusuf, because we love having you here, and Alexandra as well. I'm really sorry if you can't manage it. I hope you'll watch the recording. Okay. All right. So shall we give this a go? Any questions? I just need one moment to actually make the breakout rooms. Give me a second.
I have a question before you open the breakout rooms, Christina, but you finish that.
You might be in a group of 4 just because of the numbers. All right. So was it Alexandra Savic who is having?
Yes.
Okay, just so I make sure that we. It does take me a moment to be able to physically move everybody around and put you all in the right spaces. Okay, so I think we're okay. Yes, Massimo.
Have you explained, I might have blanked it, have you explained how they get that list up again of the questions?
I've asked everybody to
That's
bring
fine.
that along. And does anybody still need it? We can put it back again into the chat if you need that list. The list of questions. I shared it on Facebook and maybe some of you weren't able to take a screenshot. Mm-hmm. Anybody need it? No. In that case, I am going to open up the rooms. You'll have about 4 minutes at the beginning just to get yourself settled and try the activity. And then I'll send a message after 3 minutes telling you have a minute and someone is going to move, and then you'll just be moved. And we'll try this for, I think, 2 rounds tonight because of the time. Is that all right? So here we go. Open. 1 second. Okay. Have fun. Okay, so welcome back after that activity, everybody. We'd love to hear a little feedback. Did you enjoy that? Was that fun?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
We were together in a room finally after 5 weeks.
We've been waiting from week 3 to get together. Really? Why didn't you send me a message? I would have organized it, guys.
It was better to wait.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put instructions about how to do this kind of stuff on the Facebook group later in case you want to do this in a Zoom meeting. Yeah. And I'll hand you back over to Liz. Do you want to ask a question?
I just wanted to ask if anybody heard anything that especially surprised or amused them from a member of their breakout room group. Anything to share with us? No? No one who laughs at themselves sometimes, for example?
Oh, we all do.
Ah, good. Very healthy. Good thing to do. Don't take yourself too seriously. Okay. Shall we move on then? Okay. Yeah, actually, the second question, how many of you use speed dating activities with your classes already? If you'd like to put the raised hand symbol up to show us if you do. Oh, we haven't got gallery view. Yeah, yeah. Does it work well?
I think Zorica and Ivana raised their hand, but not the hand in the Zoom meeting. But like.
Oh, I see. Oh, Zorika, can you unmute and tell us?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I use it sometimes, not too often, depending on the mood. But usually, I do not have two types of questions. We normally agree on the number of questions, and I use it with teenagers mainly. So they like asking the same questions, different partners, and then making their choices. For sometimes we just choose the pair for another pair work activity or things like that. Nothing big, really.
Yeah, yeah. But they enjoy being mixed around so that they're not talking to the same group all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the main reason why.
Yeah, great.
Or sometimes we pretend to be other people. They choose any names, or they like celebrities. Some of them I'm well familiar with. Some are new, but as long as they enjoy it, doesn't matter really.
Yeah, great. Lovely. Okay. Shall we move on, Christina? Okay. And on to the next slide. Okay, so we're going to watch a video clip of a comedy sketch. And just before we watch it, just to remind you of a few things, that most schools have a sports day, usually in July before we break for summer holidays, and it usually includes an egg and spoon race. Do you have something like this? It involves running along, carrying an egg in a spoon, and the first person to cross the line without dropping the egg is the winner. Fun. But if it's a school sports day, the parents are there. Sometimes they take it very seriously and get really competitive. And we Brits are not supposed to be very competitive. We're supposed to enjoy playing the game, but not necessarily winning. We'll see. And you'll hear some double surnames, which is a parody on the fact that upper class people often have not one but two surnames. You'll hear a joke about that. Okay, so moving to the next slide. Okay, this is humour based on the class system and also on how seriously we take our food. Food must be pure and of good quality. This is by a comedian called Catherine Tate. We've got the link at the bottom of the screen for you. She's got a lot of funny comedy sketches about, she plays different personalities and their jokes about modern life, British life. Okay, let's watch this one, The Egg Race. Let's go for it.
Now, remember what Daddy told you about Sports Day?
That taking part is everything, to win with dignity and to lose with pride in the knowledge that you did your absolute best.
Remember, whatever happens here today, Mummy and Daddy are immensely proud of you.
Thank you, Mummy.
Okay, darlings, now. It's nearly time.
In perpetua vincere.
In perpetua
Oh,
vincere.
In lane 1, Chloe Taylor-Thomas. In lane 2, Thomas Taylor Thomas. Imogen Fitzroy Ferguson. In lane 4, Fergus Fitzroy Ferguson. In lane 5, Amelia Harvey Henry. And in lane 6, Henry Harvey Henry.
Your marks! Get set! Go!
No! It's the eggs! They're not organic!
Thank you. So moving on to the next slide. What did you notice? Did you notice the importance that the mum attaches to sportsmanship with the Latin motto the children have to recite, the humour behind the double surnames, and also the reference to how important the right kind of food is? Remember Marks and Spencer's and all that. Anything else that you noticed?
We had, I mean, we tend to make parodies of such surnames, and especially here when women divorce, and they tend to keep their maiden's name and their husband's last name, so it kind of confuses certain people, and people tend to make parodies of it. The most famous was Miumir Momir Mimor, which you don't know what is his first name, middle name, or the last name, because they all sound the same. So yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Okay. Did anybody also notice what everybody drove away in? They escaped from these dreadful economy eggs. Driving? What kind of car?
Fine.
Yeah, a four-wheel drive car, or sometimes referred to as a Chelsea tractor. Because Chelsea is an area of London where people like that might live. It's a posh area of London. Okay, let's move on then to the next slide. We've got another sketch here. Now, don't worry if you don't understand everything the two men say. These guys are from Glasgow, and as Claire will probably have demonstrated already to you, it can be a difficult accent if you're not used to it, difficult to follow. Okay. And also I want you to think about how national stereotypes are used to make people laugh in this sketch, but not in a cruel, exclusive way. I'll ask you why, how they do this at the end of the sketch. And also, just before we listen, could someone give me a definition? What is voice recognition technology? Could anyone define it?
A computer's ability to understand our voice and input it in the software and like type it out, or basically, yeah.
Thank you, Ivan. You're a walking dictionary. That's lovely. Okay, so let's go for this one then. And remember, don't worry about the accents.
What's the buttons?
Oh no, they installed voice recognition technology in this lift. I heard about this.
Voice recognition technology? In a lift? In Scotland? You ever tried voice recognition technology?
No.
They don't do Scottish accents.
11.
Could you please repeat that?
11.
11. 11.
11.
Could you please repeat that?
11.
Whose idea was this? You need to try an American accent.
11. 11.
That sounds Irish, not American.
What, doesn't it?
11.
Where in America is that? Dublin?
I'm sorry. Could you please repeat that?
Try an English accent, right? 11. 11.
You for the same part of England as Dick Van Dyke.
Listen, yours then, smart ass.
Please speak slowly and clearly.
Smart ass.
11.
I'm sorry. Could you please repeat that?
11. If you don't understand the lingo, away back home to your own country.
Ooh, is that talk now, is it? Away back to your own country?
Oh, don't start, Mr. Bleeding Heart. How can you be racist to a lift?
Please speak slowly and clearly.
11. 11. 11. 11.
You're just saying it the same way.
I want to keep saying it until I understand Scottish, alright? 11. 11. 11. 11.
I'll just take us anywhere, you cow. Just open the doors.
This is a voice-activated elevator. Please state which floor you would like to go to in a clear and calm manner.
Calm. Calm. Where's that coming from? Why is it telling people to be calm?
Because I knew they'd be selling this to Scottish people who'd be going up for nut-sitting.
You have not selected a floor.
Aye, we have! 11!
If you would like to get out of the elevator without selecting a floor, simply say, "Open the doors, please."
Please. Please. Suck my wally.
Maybe we should just say please.
I'm not begging that for nothing.
Open the doors, please.
Please. Pathetic.
Please remain calm.
Oh, what do you want up tonight? Get up now. Hey, just wait for it to speak.
You have not selected a floor.
Ah, mules, you cow! You don't let us through these doors. I'm going to come to America. I'm going to find whatever desperate actress gave you a voice, and I'm going to go in an electric chair for you.
Scotland, you bastard!
Scotland!
Scotland!
Scotland! Freedom!
Going up.
Okay. Do you think this sketch is anti-Scottish? If so, why or why not? No. Ivan, why?
Well, first of all, Scottish people made it, so I guess they understand how funny their accent is to other to other people who don't speak it. So the highest level of humor is to be able to laugh at yourself.
Self-parody, exactly. And so, Zorika, anything to add to that? I think in a way, yeah, go.
Not really. I just love the let's say exaggeration in it all. That's it.
It also had the similar in the Dude, Where's My Car movie, when they went to the Chinese takeaway and the thingy kept saying and then, so they had to wreck it. So
Yeah, great. Yeah, I think also, I think if anything, it's making fun of voice recognition technology because it is so mindless, you know, it's just repeating the same question again and again. But Claire, did you feel at home to hear that Glasgow accent?
Oh, I did, yeah. Brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, right. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so I think, Christina, you have to stop the recording there, don't you, and start again?
Christina.